right, so we got the Silvia up on the trailer. We started cutting away some of the frame rail and some of the bent pieces up here to get this strut brace on, kind of see how bent it actually is. And I think we're just gonna replace all of that with the frame rail and everything. We're gonna try to save the firewall because I don't wanna buy a right-hand drive firewall. So just drill out all those spot welds, replace this whole top section, and then gonna cut the A-pillar, or drill out all the spot welds, replace that part. And then the rocker panel is just completely caved in all the way back here, probably cut there along that line. And then in here, it's kinked in the door jamb. This door jamb is bowed out, and there's all sorts of damage in here. Everything all kinked. See the firewall from the inside. But we're gonna cut along this panel right here, down the middle of the trans tunnel. Keep the whole brace off the other car, and then probably go somewhere down here, try to save the firewall and bring it back to the new piece. So then we've got this shell. Picked this up for 400 bucks and still all rolling, had a good amount of parts on it. But everything up here is straight, and we've been working on a jig. We got the shock towers, goes up here to where the hood mounts up. And then we have both of these on the door. Goes over to that door mount as well, so we can take that whole piece. And then it goes down to in there. We're gonna keep that point by, this in the back seat, so we can make sure that's in the right spot. Then it goes all the way over to the other side. When I was making this, I was just gonna have it, pull back, and realized wouldn't be able to unless I spaced it out. So it just has like some spacers so you can actually take it off of the car. But so that's the plan. Take that entire piece out. All right, we got the roof all cut off. Cut out the shock tower section. The guy's building a rear wheel drive Sentra. So we sold him that whole piece. And then we have this marked out where we're gonna cut. Decided to do a little bit farther up just so we don't have to deal with in that line, and inside here we'll just go straight across, get that whole piece. Next, we're gonna start drilling out some spot welds. This plate for the e-brake is actually on the other side for right-hand drive. So we're gonna drill all those out, take that off, and then all the ones along this brace. So we're gonna take the whole brace and put on the other car. All right, we've got to cut down the middle. This piece is completely free. Drilled out all the spot welds there. And just got to remove that brace in the front, and that whole piece will come off. We got this whole piece cut out right here. We need to figure out what we're going to do with the A-pillar. I'm debating on whether to take it all out, use the one from the black car, or just cut it right here. But the cool thing about this piece in the back is it has the mount for the subframe. So we can just set that right in the subframe. That'll help us line everything up. And been working on drilling these out. So that is the mount for the carrier bearing, for the drive shaft. And then we still got to work on the transmission mount up there. And so we're gonna cut both of those off. Take them off. And then on the Silvia, we've got them all cut out. So we can leave the braces from the Silvia, set it on top of there. That'll add some extra support. All right, we got everything all cleared out. Marked it here on the A-pillar where we're gonna cut, drill out some spot welds to mate those two pieces together. And we're gonna cut along this line back here. Got the rear subframe out, so that's out of the way, but we can still, use it to mock up the new piece. Got those spot welds drilled out. This piece is free. Cut along there, all along here. Drilled these spot welds out, so that piece is free. Back here, we got that cut. Just like that, we got that whole piece out. Got a little overlap right there, overlap here. Kept the transmission brace and the carrier bearing. And we kept some of the inner fender well here to line it up to. Just gotta clean everything up and get that new piece in. So we've got that, which we can use to mount or to line up for the heater core and AC lines. There's all the brackets for the dash. We have this because the bolt is actually stripped out in that. So we're just gonna take that one from the Silvia. And then we have our heater core and those 3 holes. So we're gonna use these to make a right-hand drive firewall. You know, block that off and try to make it look as good as we can. Fresh coat of paint on the front and rear subframe. We also got those solid bushings in. All right, we got that piece on. Starting to bolt the jigs and got to get the subframes on there and pretty much as many pieces as we can. Get everything all lined up. Do some trimming. It's getting pretty close. Here it is all together with the fenders. We got everything tacked. It's just kind of where it's supposed to be. Up in there. We have it tacked all the way down the center line. Back here. Just got to finish up a bunch of welding. We got everything in the back all stitch welded. All right, I got the wheel wells painted. We got everything underneath stitch welded. Got the frame rails done. All the welding underneath. All right, we have it ready for some primer. Everything's stitch welded. Holes filled in. Still gonna need a little bit of body filler, but firewall's all done. Just like that, we got it painted. Got the motor in, transmission bolted up. Inside is done. Did a little bit of an overlap where the pieces come together all the way down the center. Here's the trunk all painted. The interior is pretty much done. Have the carpet, center console, dash, have this S15 steering wheel. I got this dash mat. This gritty boost gauge that came with it. Got the back seats, all the plastics, the headliner. Just looking for a good deal on a driver and passenger seat. Here's how it's looking. Got those fenders for a pretty good deal, just spray painted them black. This side is all painted too. I got the bodywork done on the A-pillar and the quarter panel, just oversprayed it on there. Just wanted to focus on getting it running. Still tons of little dings and dents that need to be fixed, so it'll get a nice paint job one of these days. This is the original hood and front bumper. They're a little bit bent. I'm surprised they're not in worse shape from that accident, but they fit on there pretty good. And then these are Chevy Silverado headlights and a Nissan Sentra grill. Just like a $50 setup instead of $2,000 for some Silvia headlights. Got the eBay side markers. I made my own brackets for them. Just goes off of that stock Silvia bracket, little triangle. And then the other one goes right there. It's adjustable. Made one in the corner for the corner light. Probably gonna do one more down there that connects that because it's a little bit wobbly. Got a bunch of angle in the front. Got the Z32 brakes. I made these extended lower control arms. It's already got some drift knuckles on it that are drop knuckles also. Here's how the engine bay looks. Been piecing everything together for this SR. This is not actually the engine that came with it. It came with a CA18, which was sold a long time ago. I got this SR off Marketplace. It was a super good deal. It was like unknown condition out of this guy's shed. And unfortunately it has low compression on 1 and 3. So I have to pull it out and see what's going on with that. I'd like to rebuild it. But I was thinking in the meantime, I've got this bridge ported rotary over here. And I saw one video on a swap in an S13. Doesn't look like you have to do too much cutting. So I might toss this in the meantime. Well, it's definitely an unconventional way of fixing a car, and there's definitely better ways to do it. I see how it could be argued that it's not going to be as structural, and I would feel better if it had a roll cage in it. I'll probably do one day, but I'm excited to see if there is actually any issues, if there's any cracking or bending or anything. Everything is stitch welded, and all the places I cut have like an extra layer of metal welded on. And I mean, you can jack up one of the corners and the whole front or back goes up. There's no twist in the chassis. Seems like it would be stronger than a stock one. I also see how it may not be worth it financially or the amount of time that you have to put in. I mean, I'm probably less than $5,000 into this car, but at least 200 hours into it. And the real reason I fixed it was the sentimental value. I mean, my best friend owned this. We were both 18, had a lot of good memories in it, and it inspired me to get more into Japanese cars and more into drifting. And it kind of started off our friendship for the next 10 plus years. So that's the real reason why I fixed it. Huge shout out to Prizza Mike. I was watching those videos of him fixing the 180 SX back in the day, and he had it cut into like 10 different pieces and put it back together. That's what really inspired me and made me think it was possible. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. This has been put together over the last 2 years.